Do men feel their vitality diminishing? That confidence they had in their 20s, 30s, and even 40s, that security in their own body, that ability to perform when it matters most, does it now seem like a distant memory? And what's worse, do they feel it's a topic they can't talk to anyone about? Perhaps they wake up in the morning and that sign of life that used to be there is gone. Maybe they've noticed that when the moment comes, the rigidity isn't the same as before and the strength and duration just aren't there. They look in the mirror and ask themselves, is this the new me? Is this what it is to be older? And what hurts most is the silent fear that this is just the beginning, an inevitable downhill slide. Dr. Carter feels their frustration. She understands. She has seen that same look of concern on the faces of thousands of men in her practice. Dr. Emily Carter is the speaker. She has helped men recover not only their function, but their confidence and virility. Throughout her career, she has witnessed firsthand how the traditional health system often focuses on the magic pill, the quick fix, instead of addressing the root of the problem. But in her practice, things are different. She has discovered that the solution for stronger, longer-lasting erections after 40 isn't found in a pharmacy, but in a deep, holistic understanding of the body. And in the next few minutes, she is going to reveal 5 simple, powerful habits that most doctors won't mention. 5 secrets that have helped her patients revive their potency and feel like themselves again. And viewers won't believe it. The 5th secret, which almost no one talks about, is so powerful it might surprise them, even make them laugh, but it could be the most important one of all. So viewers should stay tuned because by the end of this video, they will know exactly what to do to regain that vitality they thought was lost forever. Now, if viewers are new here, they should be sure to press the subscribe button and activate the notification bell. It's a small action that will allow them to receive more science-based tips to protect their health and live with confidence. And if what she is about to share resonates with them, they are asked to please type yes in the comments. That way, she will know this message is reaching them. Let's begin with the first secret. One that seems so simple it's almost ridiculous, but it is the foundation of everything. It's not about what is put into the body, it's about something most people have done their entire lives completely incorrectly. Secret number 1 is deep abdominal breathing. A few years ago, a man named David, a successful 55-year-old lawyer, came to her practice. He was exhausted, stressed, and deeply ashamed. "Doctor," he said, "my career is incredible, my life is good, but my marriage is in trouble because the physical part just isn't working. I'm too stressed to concentrate, and when I do, there's nothing I can do to feel confident. I've read all the forums, taken all the supplements, nothing has worked." Her first question for him was, "How do you breathe?" He looked at her as if she were crazy. "Normally, I guess, like everyone else." But the truth is that most men, especially those with chronic stress, breathe shallowly from the chest. This shallow breathing tells the body it's in fight or flight mode, a constant state of emergency. And in this state, the body diverts blood and energy away from non-essential functions, like erections, to prepare for danger. The result is a state of high alert that prevents the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for erections, from doing its job. The solution is simple yet powerful: deep abdominal breathing. Dr. Carter teaches her patients to lie down, place one hand on their chest and the other on their abdomen, and inhale deeply, feeling the abdomen inflate like a balloon without the chest moving. Then exhale slowly, feeling the abdomen completely deflate. She tells her patients to practice this for 5 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. David took this to heart. He returned 2 weeks later, and the difference was noticeable. He was no longer tense, he sat up straight, and the first thing he told her was, "Doctor, I've slept better in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 2 years. And well, let's just say my wife is very happy. I feel calmer. I feel like I'm in control." There is a scientific reason for this. A study from Stanford University found that diaphragmatic or abdominal breathing reduces levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for relaxation and sexual response. It is one of the most effective ways to switch from emergency mode to pleasure mode. This simple change in breathing may seem insignificant, but it is the key that unlocks the door to relaxation, which is the foundation of a strong erection. If men have felt stressed, if their days are filled with worry, they cannot expect their body to switch gears instantly. This habit teaches the body to relax again, to lower its guard, and when it does, blood flows where it is supposed to go. This is the first step. Now, if breathing seemed powerful, wait until hearing the second secret, because it's about nutrition, but not as typically known. It's not about what is eaten, but how it's prepared. Secret number 2 is the blue plate, the science of nitrates and nitric oxide. Dr. Carter has seen many of her patients try restrictive diets, cutting this and that, only to feel frustrated and see no results. But here's the truth. Most men have the wrong approach. The key isn't what is eliminated, but what is added. And what needs to be added are foods the body can use to create a molecule many have never heard of: nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is like the fuel in the engine of an erection. It is the compound that tells the blood vessels to relax and open up, allowing blood to flow into the penis, creating that rigidity. This is why erectile dysfunction medications work, because they help keep nitric oxide in the system. But what if men could produce their own nitric oxide naturally without bustles? A man named Michael, 63, came to see her worried about his diabetes symptoms and high blood pressure. He had lost his sex drive completely. She explained the blue plate concept and taught him to incorporate nitrate-rich foods, the precursors to nitric oxide. She advised him, in the morning, add a few roasted beets to your smoothie. At noon, an arugula salad with a handful of spinach. And at night, some raw celery and carrots with your dinner. She didn't ask him to eliminate anything, only to add. Michael looked at her doubtfully. "Doctor, are you really telling me a salad is going to help my problem?" She smiled. "Give it a chance. You have nothing to lose." 6 weeks later, he returned. Not only had he lost weight and his blood pressure stabilized, but he confessed with a smile, "Doctor, I don't know what the hell nitric oxide is, but it works. I wake up in the morning with energy and my wife and I have that spark again. It's like the ignition switch is working again." The science behind this is impressive. A study from the Journal of Applied Physiology found that consuming beetroot juice increased nitric oxide levels in the body, which improved blood flow and erectile function. The nitrates in leafy greens, beets, celery, and carrots convert to nitrites and then to nitric oxide in the body, especially if the tongue is brushed in a specific way that Dr. Carter will show in the next video. This isn't just a diet, it's a way of feeding the blood vessels, giving them the fuel they need to expand and do their job. And the result isn't just a better erection, it's better cardiovascular health, lower blood pressure, and a general feeling of vitality. It is the fuel of life. If this seemed revealing, wait until hearing the third secret, because it's about something done every day, but in a way that is silently killing libido. Secret number 3 is strategic movement, the science of movement and erection. Most men, as they age, become sedentary. They sit in the car to go to work, sit at a desk all day, sit on the couch to watch TV. And that lack of movement not only weakens muscles, but it also stagnates blood flow in critical areas. Dr. Carter has had patients who have tried the most strenuous exercises, the most complicated routines, and still see no results. This is because it's not about doing a lot of exercise, it's about doing the right exercise at the right time. She calls this strategic movement. A man named Peter, 58, was an accountant who spent 12 hours a day sitting. He came to her office with a common complaint. "I'm tired all the time, and my sexual performance is non-existent. I have no energy or desire. I'm rusted." She told him, "Peter, I am not going to give you a gym routine. I'm just going to ask you to move for 5 minutes every hour." She taught him to do something she calls the microcircuit. 30 seconds of bodyweight squats, 30 seconds of hip stretches, 30 seconds of high knees in place. Simple, right? He looked at her skeptically. "That's not going to do anything." She explained that the problem wasn't a lack of exercise, but a lack of movement. Sitting for long periods cuts off blood flow to the pelvic muscles and the arteries that feed the penis. The microcircuit reactivates circulation, brings fresh blood to critical areas, and tells the body, "I'm alive, I need energy here." Peter's response was astonishing. "Doctor, within a week I noticed a difference. When I got up from my desk, I felt more alert. But the biggest surprise was that my sex drive returned. It's not that my penis was stronger, it's that the spark, the desire, the libido, it came back. And when the desire returned, the rest followed." The science backs this up. A study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that regular, even moderate exercise improved erectile function in men with erectile dysfunction. But what they don't tell you is that how one moves, especially strategically and throughout the day, is just as important as the intensity of the exercise. Men don't have to sweat, they just have to move. This habit gives back control. It's a way of telling the body that it is still a running engine, not a rusted part in a garage, and once the engine warms up, it's ready to run. Now, if movement seemed powerful, wait until hearing the fourth secret, because it's about something ignored, a muscle never thought about, but that controls all potency. Secret number 4 is the activation of the zero muscle, the key to erection and control. Dr. Carter has spoken about this with thousands of men, and they always give her the same astonished look. Doctor, there's a muscle I don't know about? Yes, and it is the pubococcygeus muscle, better known as the PC muscle, or the zero muscle. This muscle is the most important for erectile function and ejaculatory control. It is located at the base of the penis and is the muscle squeezed to stop the flow of urine. As men age, this muscle weakens, and as it weakens, erections become weaker, control over ejaculation decreases, and confidence plummets. But here's the twist. It can be strengthened, and it requires no equipment, no gym, not even getting out of bed. She told a patient, Charles, a 60-year-old man who felt he was falling apart, to take 2 minutes every day to do what she calls the zero muscle workout. She explained that he should squeeze his pelvic floor muscles as if trying to stop urination and hold the contraction for 5 seconds, then relax. Repeat 10 times. He could do it while watching TV, waiting in the grocery line, even while brushing his teeth. Charles's response was amazing. Doctor, at first I didn't feel anything, but within a week I started to feel a sense of strength in my core. It wasn't my biceps, it was something else, and at 3 weeks my wife and I were in bed, and I suddenly realized I had more control. I realized my erection was firmer, harder, and I could last longer. It's like I turned on an engine I didn't know I had. A study published in the British Journal of Urology International found that pelvic floor exercises, like the ones she taught Charles, improved erectile function and ejaculatory control in 80% of the men who practiced. It is a muscle that controls the base of the erection, blood flow, and control. And the best part is that it can be strengthened without anyone knowing. It is the secret that only the man and his body will know, and it will restore a sense of control, power, and virility, thought to be lost forever. If this seems surprising, wait to hear the 5th secret, because it's the one most men have been taught to ignore, and yet it is the most powerful of all. Secret number 5. Reclaiming the power of intentional masturbation. This is the topic no one talks about. Masturbation, and the reason is simple. Most have been conditioned to see it as a shameful act or a vice, but what if it was one of the most powerful tools available to regain potency, desire, and confidence? Throughout her career, Dr. Carter has noticed a silent trend. The men who have stopped masturbating, often for reasons of shame, religion, or simple lack of desire, are the ones who suffer most from erectile dysfunction. And the reason is simple. She calls this the car engine theory. If the car engine isn't started, if it isn't driven, if it isn't turned over regularly, what happens to it? It rusts, the part seize up, the battery dies. The same thing happens to the sexual system. It is not designed to be dormant, it is designed to function. And masturbation is not just a release, it is a workout that maintains the connection between the brain, the heart, and the penis. It is a way of telling the body, I am alive, I am active, I need this system to work. A man named Robert, 50, told her with shame, Doctor, my wife and I don't have sex anymore, I have no desire, and, well, I've stopped masturbating, I feel like I'm broken. She explained the science behind intentional masturbation, not as a compulsion, but as an act of self-care. She told him, Robert, I am not asking you to be ashamed, I am asking you to take care of yourself. Take 5 minutes once or twice a week to reconnect with your body, to remind your brain that pleasure is real, that sensation is real, that desire is real. He came back a month later, and the transformation was incredible. Doctor, he said, not only did my desire return, but the first time we tried to have sex, my erection was harder. I lasted longer, and I felt more connected to my wife than I have in years. It wasn't just the erection, it was the confidence. It's like I reignited a fire that had gone out. Science backs this up too. A study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that regular masturbation, even once or twice a week, improved erectile function and libido in men over 50. It's not about a magic number, it's about consistency. It's about keeping the engine running. It is the most powerful way to remind the body that it is still a man, still alive, and still capable of functioning. And it is an act of self-care, self-respect, and self-empowerment that not only restores potency but the confidence thought to be gone forever. If viewers have made it this far, Dr. Carter wants to thank them for listening. As someone who has worked with men for over 3 decades, she knows this is not an easy topic to address. Most men suffer in silence, feeling alone and ashamed. But the viewer has taken the first step. They have chosen to learn, chosen to take back control. And that is the most important thing of all. Let's review the 5 secrets. First, deep abdominal breathing, the switch that tells the body to relax and activate the sexual system. Second, the blue plate, the way to feed the blood vessels with the nitrates that become nitric oxide, the fuel for erections. Third, strategic movement, the way to keep blood flow and energy in the critical areas of the body without sweating or going to the gym. Fourth, activating the zero muscle, the secret to strengthening the foundation of the erection and regaining control thought to be lost. And fifth, intentional masturbation, the act of self-care that keeps the engine running and restores the confidence and desire that are the foundation of everything. These are not just destiny secrets, they are tools. They are a map. They are a guide to reclaiming vitality, potency, and confidence. But Dr. Carter knows that for some, these habits might not be enough on their own. Maybe their symptoms are already advanced. Maybe they have tried everything and are still stuck. That is why she has prepared something special for them. A 19-second bedtime routine that has been helping her patients revive their erections and feel like themselves again, without pills or side effects. If interested, the link can be found in the description and the top comment below. Men deserve to feel strong again. They deserve to be confident. They deserve to live without shame or fear.